This is the story of naSagart, also known as John Maloney, the famous and notorious priest hunter. naSagart was born in Derrew near Ballyhane in 1690. He became one of the most hated criminals of the time. He was a horse thief and a drunkard. In 1709, England imposed the penal laws in Ireland, which basically were intended to destroy the Catholic faith in Ireland. The penal laws included what was called the Oath of Abjuration, which meant agreeing that Queen Anne, a Protestant, was recognised as the supreme head of the Church of England and Ireland. Clergy refusing to accept this oath faced death or deportation. Of the 2,000 priests in Ireland at the time, only 23 of them signed the oath. Priests continued to say Mass in disguise at secret places, such as caves and secluded Mass rocks, like the one at Bohea, just west of Ahagaur. John Maloney, also known as naSagart, the priest hunter, was about to be hanged in Castlebar for stealing horses. However, the grand jury offered him a reprieve. He could escape the gallows if he signed up to become part of the priest hunters group, which he did, and so began his priest hunting days. naSagart became friends with the Bingham family, who was Lord Claremorris, and lived in Newbrook House, Robeen, near Hollymount. The Binghams, being Protestant, hated Catholics and supported the work of naSagart. One of the first priests to be killed by naSagart was a Father Andrew Higgins, who was killed trying to escape after celebrating Mass. Priest hunting became a lucrative business. Producing the head of a bishop was worth £100. The head of a priest was worth £20. A monk or a Jesuit's head, £10. Also, a teacher was worth £10. Once naSagart received payment for the head of a priest, he threw some of the heads into a lake near the village of Ballyburk. The lake is still known as Loch na Gyan in Irish, or the Lake of the Heads. One of the techniques that naSagart used to trap a priest was to pretend that he was sick and dying, and wanted to make his peace with his Maker. He used this technique to trap a Father Kilgare. He convinced his sister, Nancy Loughman, that he was very sick and needed to make his peace. She called Father Kilgare, who arrived to discover a fully dressed naSagart lying in bed. As Father Kilgare drew closer to hear Sean's confession, naSagart drew a hidden knife and stabbed Father Kilgare to death. Father Kilgare's nephew, a friar David Burke, was to be naSagart's next victim. He knew that Friar Burke would attend Father Kilgare's funeral. Friar Burke showed up at the funeral as a pallbearer. He brought along 2 bodyguards to protect him, a John McCann and a Fergus McCormack. As the funeral arrived at Ballintubber Abbey, a bunch of redcoat soldiers blocked their way. naSagart jumped out from behind a bush and grabbed the friar. Friar Burke broke loose and tried to escape. He was pursued by naSagart on a journey that lasted several hours. all the way toward the Partry Mountains. There, close to the present Garda station in Partry, both men were exhausted and struggled. Fryer grabbed Sean's knife and stabbed him. John McCann, one of Friar Burke's bodyguards, arrived, grabbed the knife, and ended the career of Sean naSagart in the year 1726. Legend has it that the body of Sean naSagart was thrown into a nearby lake, Loch Carra, but Friar Burke, the man whom Sean naSagart tried to kill, ordered that the body should be buried instead in Ballintubber Abbey. Sean naSagart was buried in a grave facing north, where the sun never rises. An ash tree was planted over the grave, and some 150 years later, the tree split in half and remains that way today. And so ended the life and career of one of the most notorious priest hunters of the penal times, John Maloney, locally known as Sean naSagart, the priest hunter.